Welcome back to the channel. Today, let's talk about wheels on a 22 E450. I'm sitting out here in the shop and I wanted to buy a spare wheel and tire. I got a couple road trips this summer, and as soon as I started looking for wheels, I noticed there's a discrepancy on offset and bore size and things like that. So what better way to find out what I need than to pull the wheel off and find out what I actually have. Along the way, I've found there's a couple different simulators that may be on your vehicle, and how do we remove those? So I got to figure that out as well. So let's get started. So some of these simulators, you take two of these lugs off, lug nut covers off, and they're indicated by maybe a slot or a mark on them. And the best I can tell, that isn't the style I have here. It does appear that it works like an old school hubcap, so I think I'm going to just try to get in and try it out. Yep. Simple as that. So the simulator comes off pretty easy. Let's get these lug nuts off and let's see about getting this thing up in the air a little bit. Okay, so that's a 7/8 lug nut. And we'll see if we can get this tire off the ground. I'm raising it by the frame, or actually the, the lower control arm of the suspension. So I don't have to go up very high, and she's loose. Let's see if we can buzz these off. All right, coming off. I'm gonna shut the camera off. You don't need to listen to all this. So this is the wheel off. You can see the wheel adapter, and the first thing I noticed is the wheel is definitely mounted hub centric, meaning the hub locates the wheel, meaning it's critical to get the proper bore diameter in the wheel to match the hub. Any mismatch is going to cause a problem. So we've got to measure this accurately and then find a wheel that has the same measurement. We'll get our calipers out. And this is supposed to be an 8 by 6.5 pattern, so we'll go ahead and just verify that. So the wheel, 8 by 6.5 stud pattern, and we'll measure the bore. And that's 4.88 inches, and that's what I've seen online is also supposed to be 4.88 inches. So that is the bore we have on the wheel. All right. Okay, let's read what it says on the side of the wheel. It says, warning, use only forward swiveling lug nuts. That is what we have here. This pivots at the bottom, swivels. A conical lug nut, because that's a square finish, a conical lug nut isn't going to work. You have to use the factory style lug nuts. And there's some more information. The size of the wheel, etc. Now let's flip it over and see if there's any information on the back. Well, she cleaned up pretty nice, but there is no markings, stampings of any sort. I did find, looked like a serial number, and that's about it. I'm going to flip the wheel back over. I did manage to find a date. This wheel was built in September of 2020. The chassis is probably a 21 model for a 22 motorhome, so that sounds about right. Okay, next thing I want to measure is the back spacing of this wheel. It is a 6-inch wheel, and the back spacing is measured from this rim to the mounting surface, so we'll get a steel edge and see how accurate I can get. It's looking like 8 3/8 inch. Go ahead and write that down. All right, for what it's worth, let's put this factory wheel and tire on the scale and see what it weighs. Not too bad. It's just a little over, about 70 pounds. Yeah, about 70 pounds. For the real test, can I put this thing back on myself? Let's see. There's a locating hole and a hole here. Let's see about that. Let's see. Yeah, we got a couple road trips this summer. Heading to Florida in June, and I think end of June we're heading to Texas. So we're gonna put some miles on this thing, and I want a spare tire to be ready just in case. Look at that, nice. So I had to order a proper torque stick. I only have a 100 foot-pound torque stick. Got a 140 foot-pound torque stick ordered. And definitely check torque on everything before we head out. In the meantime, I'll be able to use my torque wrench. On the side of the road, torque stick is a lot easier. So if you're still watching, appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. And if you got any questions, hit them down in the comments and I'll be happy to try to answer them for you. Racing season starts April 23rd. Our drag car at Duster is not ready, but Dre Racing's bringing a Fiesta ST with a modified turbo and injector setup, and it should be pretty quick, so we'll see how that does. And we'll see you on the next time. Thanks.